Hello, this is Joe Nicasio, your business coach. And today we are talking about connecting, uh, connecting with people. And I think this is a really important topic because, we're post COVID. And the truth is with COVID, um, we were forced to quarantine. We were forced to disconnect from a lot of people. We were forced to kind of stand down socially. And the truth is if you want to make more money, if you want to do more business, you're going to have to connect with more people. And so, especially in this time where there's been a lot of quarantine, there's been a lot of isolation, now's the perfect time to think about connecting with people, getting out of the house, getting out of your apartment, getting out into the world and meeting people face to face and belly to belly. This is really important. I know that when I connect with people at a face to face level, they get to know me quicker. I get to know them quicker. And, a lot more people hire me when we meet face to face. I'm grateful that we have things like Zoom and ways to meet online. But the truth is, I've done very well without going out socially. But I think it's time to get out there and start, connecting with people. So the first thing, this is a 6-part series. And so this first one, I just want to kind of like get you a little bit prepared to go out and talk to people and start considering where are you going to connect with people. So it's about connecting with people and where are you going to connect with people. So, um, do you get apprehensive when it's time to meet new people? If you're like many, you get anxious and nervous. However, there are ways to reduce the stress associated with meeting new people. The good news is you can easily learn and apply these methods. They'll help you make your meetups more rewarding, much more rewarding. Okay, so the first thing is, maybe you need to do a little practicing. Freezing up in meetings is often a result of just not participating in them enough. Okay, so maybe you are a little nervous about going out. Well, guess what? You need to jump into the water and practice and not be so afraid. Just like everything else in life, it requires practice. So get in the habit of starting to attend as many functions as you can. This might depend on your budget and time a little bit, but uh, if it's for your work, you should be able to convince your manager that it'll benefit the company by you going out and networking with people. If you're doing it on behalf of your company should pick up the tab for that lunch or that breakfast or whatever. And even if it's not for work, consider going out to as many events as possible because you'll get better at meeting new people. The more you do it, the better you'll get, you know and become your own event planner. You don't need special occasions to plan events. You can create events for just about any purpose. You can make up events. Do you like to play music? Then run an event where musicians get together. If you want to increase business, run an event that's related to your business. People love to attend events. And even when they're business oriented, there's a social aspect to them that makes people want to attend time and again. Social media can be a real help in getting the word out about your events. In fact, Facebook has an event featured where you can find out who is interested and who may be going. And if you're going to host events, you don't have to host an event for hundreds or thousands of people. A little boardroom of 11 or 12 chairs is, that's a good full room. That's a pretty vibrant event. And even if it's only, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people, you can still have a pretty dynamic event. So don't be afraid to host your own little mini event. Social media is also a great mechanism to hold meetings. The key is to keep selling down to a minimum. Events that are planned using social media should be fun and entertaining. Selling should be a secondary function if used at all. I think social is for starting. It's where you start relationships. And if the relationship has any traction at the event, you can migrate to a little bit more of a one-on-one type of thing. If you use social media to sell your products and services, people will pick up on that quickly and unfriend and unfollow you. This is a situation you want to avoid at all costs. Make sure you have something of value to give your social media followers to entice them to your group. For instance, you could ask a prominent speaker in your industry to present at your event. Sometimes you can even get them to do this for free or in exchange for exposure. It depends on the status of the speaker and what they wish to gain from the experience. So, giving is better than receiving because giving starts the receiving process. And if you can give somebody else a stage on your platform, people will do it because you're giving first. One of the places that you can meet people is go to meetup.com. If you're unfamiliar with this website, you need to acquaint yourself with it. There's meetups going on every day of every week in every city across the world. So you can find people with similar interests who want to meet up in person. If there isn't a group, you can create it yourself. The great aspect of this website is you can go on as many of them as you want, which will help you get over your fear of meeting new people. When you decide on going to a meetup, make sure you have something to contribute. Bring some value. You want to get involved with a group or become an active member. It's almost a given that if you create the group yourself, as you will need to handle the details such as time and place. But even for groups that others created, you can ask to head up certain initiatives. This puts you in the spotlight and can help you increase your notoriety within the group. This is a sure way to alleviate fears of meeting people. So again, the more people you meet, the more opportunities will come your way, the more you can start feeling this connection. Connection turns to conversations. Conversations turns into curiosity. And sometimes if there's enough curiosity, that can lead to commitment and cash. And then there's community events, the Chamber of Commerce, the city, there's all kinds of events going on in every community. If you like to help others out, why not join in on community events in your area? This can be a great way to practice meeting people, and you can get good at it at the same time. There are plenty of opportunities throughout the year to get involved with an event within your community. Simply reach out to your municipality or go online and see what's available. There's always a community calendar. The city has a community calendar. The chamber has a community calendar. If you go to networking, just Google networking events. You'll find all kinds of community events. If you have a difficult time finding the right kind of event to get involved with, try contacting foundations that support events in your area. You can also reach out to religious institutions as they often sponsor an event to help people out. Now, not all community events are about helping people. Sometimes it could be events just like going on hikes or visiting other areas of interest like museums. These can be another fun way to meet people. There's on Airbnb, they have Airbnb experiences where you can pay a very small fee and go on a tour or tour guide. You can meet people these ways. When you do go to an event, to be a little bit prepared, it's good to have some questions in your back pocket. Whatever means you use to meet people, it's a good idea to come prepared before you attend the meeting. First, try to determine, the demographics of the group. What kind of people are going to be there? What people is the group catering to? If it's men, women, or both, is it a certain age group, and so on. When you know who's going to attend, you can structure questions to ask of them. Questions are a great way to get to know people and give more insight into what they are about. A great question I learned is, a lot of people say, what do you do for a living? But I've learned a lot more about people. What do you find most challenging about what you do for a living? What's most challenging about what you do for a living? Now, all of a sudden, you're different. You've got a good question in your back pocket, and you're going to have an interesting conversation. Try not to go overboard with questioning. You don't want to be the interrogator, or they may seem like you're prying. So you want to have good questions to open up the conversation without being annoying. Keep the questions casual and ask as if you're asking a bunch of friends that you already know. Let them answer and use the answers as a basis for further inquiry. It's wise to choose questions that are not too personal. You should also be prepared to answer questions others have for you. So you might have some fear in going out and being socializing and networking. So let's talk a little bit about overcoming fear. The fear of meeting new people stems from not knowing what to say or saying the wrong things. If you tend to be a little bit on the shy side in your meetups, let other people start the conversations. Smile often as you want to be approachable. And be honest. If you say, I'm a little uncomfortable starting a conversation with a new person, let them know that, and they'll have a little bit of compassion for you. And if you can add something to a conversation you overhear, simply open with, if you don't mind me saying, I have an experience with this, or something similar. Don't be overbearing when you're the new person. Back off a bit and let people take in what you say. If they accept your premise, they will ask questions and engage with you. So, it might be a little bit fearful. It might be a little bit when you're in a new situation, but don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And here's a big one. Get excited. There's nothing worse than having somebody who's a stick in the mud at a meeting. These people seem like it's the last place they want to be. Maybe someone forced them to attend or some similar reason why they just don't want to contribute. Don't be that person. Even if you're faced with a forced situation, make the best of it and be excited to be there. You never know who will be attending, and you don't want to give a bad impression. If you're attending a meeting you don't find interesting, try find ways to get interested. You'd be surprised what you will learn from other people. Instead of saying this is a boring meeting, you could ask yourself, or say, isn't it fascinating how boring meetings can be? Find a way to get fascinated instead of frustrated and bored. You'll also discover information you never would have if you had not attended. So you don't have to take a long-term interest in the group, but people within that group may belong to other groups you're interested in. So, if you want to have a better experience, if you want to connect with more people, come in with some excitement, come in with some energy, be a plus. Don't be a stick in the mud. Don't be a minus. And, volunteer to be a speaker. Okay, I got a picture of Tony Robbins here. You don't necessarily have to be Tony Robbins, but when you find a group that you want to join, contact the organizer and see if they need any speakers. Yeah, make sure you have some familiarity with the subject, unless you plan on revealing that you are new to a field you are learning. This can be an interesting angle for groups as well. Either way, you'll need to make some preparations, including learning about who is going to attend and preparing material accordingly. Be open-minded when you speak and be prepared to answer questions. You may be able to pick some brains of the members and gauge what kind of questions you ask. And if you're having a challenge with being a speaker, I want to recommend, I used to be really shy and introverted, and Toastmasters International was a great place to meet people and connect with people. And also it's a laboratory where you can hone your skills as a speaker and start to learn some of those skills. There are online places to meet people. Again, I want to get you away from the computer and in front of people face to face, but forums can be an incredible way to meet people due to somewhat anonymous nature of the medium. They can be a great start in getting to know about other people, and you can answer status as a community member by answering questions or posting valuable information that others use. The key is to stay active in the community and don't be overly promotional. Most forums have checks to reduce this from happening anyway, but even without these, it's a better idea to come to be helpful to the group, to be a giver. After a while, people will recognize your authority, and it'll be much easier to sell these people in a more subtle manner. And so it is more important, give more than you take. Okay, when you look when you look to meet others, be willing to give more than they give. If you have some information that you believe the people you're meeting will find valuable, go ahead and give it to them. Also, keep the channel open so they can reach out to you after the initial meeting. This sets the stage to nurture the relationships even further. The more you can offer, the more they will want to engage with you. Of course, you don't want to give all your products and trade secrets away, but relationships are developed by giving as much as is reasonable. And then, there's some other things now. Hangouts, Periscope, Clubhouse. I'm not a big Hangouts fan anymore these days. I think it's very spammy. But Clubhouse has social audio. It's a great place to meet people. I've actually gotten a lot of clients from Clubhouse. LinkedIn has audio rooms now, and Twitter has audio rooms as well. So, these technologies such as Google Hangouts, Periscope, LinkedIn, Twitter Spaces, I think it's called, can open doors to many people. It can be a good way to connect with new people, and it also has it's also a great practice for meeting people face to face. These tools are often used to teach people about something of value. This gives you instant credibility, assuming you teach something good. It also makes it much easier to reconnect with people after the webinar or the event is complete. And so today we've been talking about connecting with people. This is part 1 of a 6-part series. We talked about preparing to go out and meet people and overcoming some of the fear and some of the places that you can and will meet people. I know as a business mentor, I know there's a direct correlation between the quantity and quality of people you meet and how quickly your business will grow. And if you do want help growing your business, I want to invite you to reach out to me. This is Joe Nicasio, your business mentor. Stay tuned. Coming in the next week or so, I'll be coming out with part 2 of this 6-part series. If you want the help's available. Just reach out. This is Joe Nicasio, your business mentor. God bless you and have an amazing day.